How's it going, everybody? This is Mike. Haven't done a video in about 3 weeks, not for any particular reason. I guess I ran out of things to say. But I wanted to come back and do a very brief video to recommend a film to you that a lot of you may not know about. And if you don't, you should, because it's a classic horror film, kind of a horror mystery film from Britain in 1945. It's called Dead of Night. Hope you can see that all right. Dead of Night. How's that for a cover? Isn't that cool? Has absolutely nothing to do with what happens in the film, but that is a great cover. Here's the back. Okay. Dead of Night. As I said, it was released in 1945, and in Britain during the war, horror films were not made. I don't know if that was a decision by the studios or something done by the government, but the studios were banned from making horror films during those years. I guess they figured the people were suffering real life horror, so why add to it? But at the end of the war, this film came out, and it was very influential, very, very influential, and it's regarded as a classic today. Now, it's interesting because the film is a combination of different stories. Well, let me tell you just a little bit about the plot, and just kind of, without telling you too much, just kind of give you the bare bones of what Dead of Night is all about. Okay, there's an architect, a man named Mr. Craig, played by Mervyn Johns, who is hired to do some work at a country house. So he goes there, this big, beautiful house in the country that he's never been to before. When he sees the house, he recognizes it. He feels that he's been there before because he's been dreaming about this house. When he goes inside, he knows where everything is in all the rooms. And the house is filled with people, not only the married couple who own the house, but a bunch of guests that they're having for a party. So the guy basically walks into a party, and he's kind of drawn into the conversation. He knows all of the people in the house. They've all been a part of his dreams for a long time. He knows who they are, what they're going to say. He knows who's going to arrive at the house later on. And he has this, as he starts to tell the people in the house about this, they all think, oh, this is interesting, and they don't really believe him. But as he starts to talk about his experiences in the dreams, and he has this feeling of impending doom, something terrible is going to happen, they all start to believe him. They start to get interested in what he's saying. And several of the people in the house tell stories about things that have happened in their own lives that could only be explained as supernatural occurrences. So that's the gist of the film. Each one of these people, well, several of the people start telling stories, and the film goes into each one of these stories and then takes us back to the party, and that's what links all of the stories together. Okay? Now, this is all done by 4 different directors who direct different aspects of the film and the linking narrative. They all take certain parts of it. The directors are Alberto Cavalcanti, Charles Crichton, Robert Hamer, and Basil Dearden. Now, the only director I'm familiar with is Basil Dearden. Some of the actors in the film, most of them are British players. A couple that I think are American, but as I said, Mervyn Johns, an actress named Googie Withers, Michael Redgrave, and Sally Ann Howes, and the other actors I'm not familiar with. So I'm just naming you the ones that I know sort of something about. And so it's a fascinating film, and all the stories are very creepy except for one which is very funny. And I'm not sure exactly why they added a comedic story to this very, very strange film, maybe to lighten up the tension, but it doesn't take away from the ending. All the stories, as the film progresses, all the stories come together for a climax that would really just blow you away the first time you see it. It's a very creepy, very strange twist ending, and it's a fascinating film to look at. This is only the second time I've seen it. I bought this from Critics' Choice Video a couple of weeks ago, and I had only seen the film one time before. Maybe 25 years ago, I saw it on television, Turner Classic Movies or American Movie Classics. I'm not sure which one. But when I saw it, when I got to the end, I mean, it was just chilling. absolutely had a chilling effect on me. You can just feel that coldness come on you when things were happening, and that doesn't happen very often. And even in some of the best classic horror films, well, it's been so long since I've seen a lot of those films for the first time. This was a first time experience that really got to me. Now, when I saw the film again 2 weeks ago, I realized that my memory had changed the way the film was in reality. Didn't take away the involvement and the excitement of the film, even though I knew a lot of the surprises, some of the details I had forgotten, but a lot of it came back to me. But it was still very, very effective. And I just would like to highly recommend this to people who like classic horror films, classic mysteries. It it's quite different than the classic horror films that came out of Universal Studios back in the 1930s and the 1940s. It's not about monsters. It has, a ghostly aspect to it, but it's not. It really is in kind of a category all by itself. It might have a little more in common with the films produced by Val Lewton at RKO in the 1940s. Films like Cat People, The Seventh Victim, The Ghost Ship. Those were more cerebral horror films that were working on you psychologically rather than showing you monsters, right? So they were very different from the Universal films. But still, this is in kind of a category all of its own. In the same way that for me, the classic ghost story, The Uninvited, which came out from Paramount Studios in 1944, really is all by itself among horror films in the classic era. Dead of Night, I think a lot of you would really appreciate this if you saw it. So it is on sale now at moviesunlimited.com. I found it in this little catalog they sent me. And if you don't know about Movies Unlimited, that's a website you all should visit. But it is selling Dead of Night right now for a very good price. And I'll put the link down below for moviesunlimited.com. And I hope that some of you will decide to take a look at Dead of Night. And if any of you have seen this and you want to talk about it, please make a comment. Leave a comment. And okay. All right, I'm going to turn this off now. Thanks for watching.